Hello everyone, my name remains Benjamin Christian. I'm briefly taking on economics. I see WAEC Economics essay Christian 2024. So number one we have on the list is define central bank. Now we can define central bank as a financial institute established by the federal government to supervise and regulate other banks and also give advice to government based on monetary affairs. So central bank are financial institute established by the federal government to supervise and regulate other banks, give advice to government based on monetary affairs, and also to meet money. Okay, so in other words, central bank is established by the federal government to carry out financial supervision. Okay, and also to give feedback to government based on monetary affairs that concerns the country. All right, that's what central bank is. But now, before we further ahead, let's understand that central bank has basically three major functions. One of the functions of central bank is to mint money and also to supervise other commercial banks, other banks, and also to give government advice based on monetary affairs. In other words, before ever government carry out any project or has to do with money, they first of all have a meeting with the central bank to look whether what Nigeria have currently now, the money we have, can be able to offset that kind of issue thing. If you can recall, normally uh, this year there have been census carried out, census carried out 10 years. It was cancelled because the central bank have a meeting with the federal government. Look, at this point now, Nigeria does not have enough money to offset that kind of huge project. So it was postponed. That's what happened. So the central bank always do discuss or have a meeting with government to give government advice that has to do with monetary affairs. You know that whenever government carry out any projects, they always seek advice from the central bank. That's why they are there. They always regulate the financial aspect of the government. Right? To look at this point, let's invest. At this point, let's hold on. Okay, and that's the duty of the central bank. That's why the central bank is established by the federal government to supervise other banks and also to give advice to government based on monetary affairs and also um, to meet money. In charge of meeting money. The only federal bank that in charge. The federal bank that the central bank that is in charge of meeting money. Okay, now you're looking at number one, you're looking at say define central bank, we should define it as financial institute established by federal government. All right, they work for government. They are also organs in charge of financial activities. Then we have three ways central bank reduce money surplus. Money surplus. Three ways with central bank reduce. You have increased cash reserve. Now, when you say reserve, reserve simply means there is authorized share capital every commercial bank has. And now let's understand that what determines money in circulation is commercial bank. What determines money in circulation is central in the commercial bank. Whenever there is excess money in commercial bank, you are your money or excess money in circulation. So in order for government to control, in order to control the rate of money in circulation, thereby causing inflation or deflation, the central bank always have what we call reserve. Have what we call reserve. They try to keep the excess. They authorize once a bank can be authorized share capital means the amount of money that should be under the custody of a bank. So once they exceed that amount of authorized share capital, the extra is being kept by the central bank to control the circulation of money. And whenever there is no money, they also relieve that reserve back to what the commercial bank. Now, what that means circulation of money in a country, what determines the volume of money in a country is the commercial bank. When there's too much money in the commercial bank, money becomes um, excess. And when there's reduced money in the commercial bank, money becomes reduced in the economy. Okay, so number one, in reserve, the economy, the central bank had a meeting and gives an order to the commercial bank that from now henceforth the amount of money that is kept under the custody of uh, commercial bank regulated, once they see the amount of money is being kept as a reserve. Now, if you're going to look at a scenario, that's like, for example, now, if I have a child and the child is not up to 18 years, and my uncle or his my brother gives, which is his uncle, gave him 1 million naira, he cannot use it, he will misuse it. He cannot utilize that money because it's not up to that age. That's what the central bank does. Central bank try to keep the excess money under their custody to regulate the use of money in the world economy. Okay. Number two, selling government security, which is called open market, selling government security. Now, the another way central bank use to control money in circulation, to control money in circulation, e get what's called money open market operation. The central bank gives security. A security just a stating a document that people they buy, they must buy. And whatever amount of money stated in that security is what they buy, the commercial bank buy. Alright. In other words, all that it was trying to reduce or to comb the rate of money circulation. Another function used by the central bank to reduce the rate of money in circulation, whereby giving security for them to open market, to give for them to buy. And whatever is stated, that's what they use to buy. And when there is no money in economies, also central bank also buy that security from the commercial bank. In other words, all they are doing is try to reduce or control the rate of money in circulation. Another reason, another way, three ways, I look like three ways of banks, central bank reduce the money in circulation. Another way is what we call raising lending, raising what lending. For example now, if the rate of interest to borrow money is 10%, and when there's too much money in the economies, government through the central bank, government through the federal bank will give order to do to increase the rate of interest. That means that before, if I used to borrow, before I can borrow, let me say I'm lending, I want to lend 10,000, 10,000, and the interest rate is just 10% interest rate. Now, since there is money in there's too much money in the economy and they want to control the rate of money in circulation, the interest will be they will increase the interest rate to either 20%, 21%, just to discourage borrowing. Just discourage borrowing. At that point, like, before ever you borrow, you think twice before borrowing because the interest rate is what is like before this time, the interest rate is 10%. So 10%, that means that 10,000 times 10 divided by 100 will give us 1,000. But now, since it is 20%, you are saying 20%, you are saying 10,000 naira times 20 divided by 100 will give us 2,000. So you must consider whether are you going, since you look at it now, the interest rate is high compared to now. Now the interest rate is 20%, before the interest rate is 10%, just to discourage people from borrowing. And whenever there is whenever there is poor money in the economic system, they reduce. Whenever there is no money in the economy or the money in the economy is reduced, they reduce the interest rate. And when there is excess money, they increase the interest rate in order to make people to discourage people from borrowing. But when the interest rate is high, it will discourage you from borrowing. And when the interest rate is reduced, it will encourage you from borrowing. So these are the methods. So we have looked at the defined economy central bank which we have done. We also look at the three ways central bank reduce money in circulation. Number one, we said increase in cash reserve, increase in cash reserve. Also we have also what we call issuing what we call security, issuing what we call security, which is what we call open market operation. All right, number three, we also look at reserve. We also look at what raising lending, or increase in interest rate, increase in interest rate. So these are three major ways government through the central bank control uh, money in circulation. Money in circulation. Number one, we have reserve. Number two, we have open operation market. Number three, we have interest increase in interest rate. These are the three major ways government pass through central bank to control the rate of money circulation. Central bank majorly they are just established by federal government to control, to achieve their objective. Government have their same objective, and for them to achieve their objective, they must pass through a body which is central bank. And I said that commercial bank they are what determines the money total money circulation. With a central bank, commercial bank money has excess money, but there is excess money economy. And when there is few money, with commercial bank, um, also that means that there's less money in the economy. Now let's go back to what we call recent cash policy. There was no cash policy. If you observe, if you go to the bank to withdraw 10,000, they give you 5,000. If you want to buy 1 million, they give you half a million. At that point, they are trying to regulate the money circulation. All right, and that is what happened. Okay, now let's look at explain how the central bank plays its roles as bankers to government. Explain how the central bank plays its role as bankers to government. Yes, central bank, one of the functions of the central bank is that bankers to government. They bank with they are the bank to the government. They are the bank to the government. Now in the hierarchy, you can see in the hierarchy we have the federal government. We have the federal in hierarchy, we have the federal government, which we have the government. We have the central bank, CBN. We have the CBN. Then we have commercial bank. Then we have the public. The central bank is banker towards government, right? They are established by government to bank for the government. They are established by government to give advice to government based on monetary affairs, and also to give loan to government when due. Whenever there is no one to carry out a project, like for example now, if the state government want to carry out a project, they can take loan from the bank. All right. If you observe, UK borrowed a loan from Zenith Bank to carry out a project. All right. So the central bank give loan to government, especially for capital work projects. All right. So they work with the government. Okay. Then we have what we call the central bank work with the federal government. Take note, not the federal government. And also they work with um, they work with the federal government, especially not the federal government. At the federal level, at the state level, they also work with the state government. They give loan to government, and also they give advice to government based on monetary affairs. Federal government impact any project, federal impact any investment, they always have a meeting with the central bank to look whether at this point Nigeria have enough money to carry out that project you want to embark on. Alright, bankers to commercial bank. That's what I'm saying. They work with the government and also work with the what? Commercial bank. They work with the government and also work with the commercial bank. Bankers to commercial bank. Bankers to commercial bank. Yes, commercial bank can take loan from central bank. They can take loan from central bank and also pay back. Alright. They always supervise the duty and the functions of what the commercial bank. It gives order to the commercial bank. So that's what I say that they are bankers. Also, the central bank give loan to government, also give loan to commercial bank. They give loan to government and also give loan to commercial bank. And most time, uh, when it's due to pay, they pay us, they pay back. Also, they said that also look at they say 3 ways central bank reduce. So they also work with the commercial bank to reduce money in circulation, thereby controlling the rate of inflation or deflation. Okay, lenders of last resort. Yes, commercial bank work as lenders of last resort. They are the last hope of the government and the commercial bank. They give loan. But the last hope on the government is commercial bank, is the central bank. They always run to them for financial assistance. So they give loan to both central bank and commercial bank, as to government and commercial bank. Define economic development. Okay, so we are now to define economic development. Okay, say process of quantitative improvement in economic lending, higher standard of living. So when you say economic development, you're looking at it's all about improving the standard of living. Economic development simply means improving the standard of living. Standard of living. All right, now economy of a country, you understand, and we have development. So when there is development involved in economies, it brings standard of living. Standard of living. That is the essence of development. Development improve our standard of living of the people. That's economic development. Bring higher standard of living. So a layman Economic development simply means a process of an improvement of standard of living of people living in a particular area. Then we say that say three characteristics of developing nation. Take what are the three characteristics? Nigeria fall under the three characteristics of developing nation. Nigeria is one of the country that is developing. Nigeria is developing nation. So we want to say the high level of poverty and what unemployment. Nigeria, we have the rate of unemployment is higher than rate of employment. So number one is that one of the characteristics that you know that this is a developing country is that there is high level of poverty, high level of poverty. People are suffering, high level of poverty, and another of high level of unemployment. All right. If you look at statistics, statistics are proving that 60%, 70% of graduates have no one. 7% of graduates have no one. So that is the level of unemployment in Nigeria. Okay. So one of the characteristics of a developing country is that there is high level of employment and there's high level of poverty in that area. Then you have high reliance on agriculture. We always they focus on or rely on agriculture. So one of the characteristics you know that this is a developing country is that we rely so much on agriculture or crude oil, like Nigeria is now. Nigeria, all our focus or hope is on crude oil, which is very very wrong. Why? Because we are a developing world country. Then we have on now we say three means to facilitate economic development. Three means to facilitate economic development. We have investment in education and skills development. So what are the ways in which we can facilitate or promote economic development? We can facilitate or promote economic development. Number one is to invest in education, skill and acquisition. Invest in education, skill and acquisition. If government can invest in education, Nigeria will be a better place. Nigeria will be a better place. If government can invest in education and also inculcate or provide skill acquisition around the world, society, state, and local level. Find out that things will get better. So one of the ways to improve or facilitate or promote economic development is to embrace what we call skill acquisition, creation of skill acquisition, job opportunity, and investment in education. Invest in education. It will, when government invests in education, the possibility of unemployment to reduce, right? Because some people can find that we have what we call entrepreneurship as one of the curriculum in university. Entrepreneurship is a means whereby when you are done with school, you can possibly you can suddenly be self-employed. All you have to do is carry out your specialty, carry out at a smaller at a start. All you do is just start a business and everything. So it's very very simple. All you have to do is what is to inculcate the idea of education. Another here is what we call provision of infrastructure. So government should provide if there is adequate preference to infrastructure, things will get better. Infrastructure. In Nigeria, we lack social amenities. We have bad road, electricity, and good road system. There is no poor hospitality and everything. So if there is government can provide social amenities, infrastructure, then it will facilitate economic development because when there is good road, when there is good electricity system, when there is a good water system, when there is good hospitality, it will bring about development. These are things that enhance development in a particular area or a country. Encourage of industrialization and diversification. Industrialization. Nigeria believe all our attention, all our hope, focus all our hope on industry, on agriculture, crude oil. If you can go into the industrialization whereby taking charge or thereby creating other or bringing other industries. You know what I'm saying? Whereby going to diversification, going to other industry, it will really improve the development of a given country. You can go into other sector of economy, not just oil. We look at commercial industry, look at service industry, look at uh, other industry. You can just collectively go into this thing, then it will Nigeria will be a better place by economics or development. So these are things that do economic development. One, we see that investment in education. Number two, we said that provision of infrastructure. Number three, we said that what we call encourage what we call industrialization, right? industrialization or diversification of industry. Diversify, not just depend on one. See how you can be able to go into other sector of economies and be and make a Nigeria better place. So you're looking at number three, say define the third distribution. Define the third distribution. Distribution is a means in which goods get to the final consumer. It means in which goods move from one place, not the other, in order to get to the final one consumer. That's what we call distribution. That's what we call this distribution. That's what we call distribution. All right. So for take note, for goods to produce get to the final consumer, understand what I'm saying? It's very important. Production is not complete if goods produced cannot get to the what final one consumer. Right? I repeat, I say production is not complete if goods produced cannot get to the final one consumer. So for you to see that production is carried out, that means that goods produced get to the final one consumer. But the essence of production is certify human one. Essence of production certify what human one. Human one. So if goods produced cannot get to the final consumer, then production is not as useful. So we say that the term production means process of making goods and services available to the consumer. Simply means of making goods and services available for the world consumer. That is the means of movement of the goods. Then we say outline three ways in which retail is important to the consumer. Retail is very very important. We have retailers and wholesalers. Now the retailers are they are very they are the channel that are very close to the consumer. They are very close to the consumer. Now one of the function of the retailer to the consumer is that he sell the goods in a smaller quantity to the consumer. He sell the goods in smaller quantity to the consumer. Number one. Number two, he bring the goods into the doorstep to the consumer. He bring the goods to the doorstep of the consumer. Most times the retailer provides for delivery services to that to the consumer to his doorstep. Another function of the retailer to the consumer is that he give advice to the consumer based on the product, based on the product, based on which one is more preferable than the other. Okay, so these are the three basic functions of the retailer to the consumer. Number one is that he sell the goods to the consumer in a smaller quantity. Sell the goods to the consumer in a smaller quantity. Number two is that he bring the goods to the doorsteps of the consumer, whereby providing delivery or services. Number three is that okay, number three is that you give advice to consumers in their affairs of their preference, which one is more better than the other, which one to go for what, which one is very. You also give information to consumer based on availability of goods, the latest goods, and which one is more preferable. So all these are functions of the retailer to the consumer. Okay, then we have number three C. Explain disadvantage of inflation in the distribution process. Explain disadvantage of patient distribution. Increase financial price due to profit margin. All right. Explain. Okay, we are looking at explain disadvantage of patient of distribution. It's distribution also promote or help to there is all it inculcate or provide make goods to be more costly. All right, increase in the final price due to your profit or margin. All right, because the producer sells to the wholesalers getting his own profit. The wholesaler sell to retailer getting his own profit. The retailer sell to the consumer also to make profit. At the end of the day, the consumer suffers it. It creates or increase the cost of goods, cost of goods and services. That's one. Number two is that delay in distribution due to many what intermediaries. Right? Now sometimes is hard to the goods available get to the consumer, but it has to pass through the producer to the wholesaler, from the wholesaler to the retailer, from the retailer to the consumer, most times to the agent for the consumer. So assuming if there is what you call just the producers and the consumer, it get to the consumer very very easy. But because it has to pass through the channel of distribution, that is why it's most like it takes time for it to get to one consumer, for it to pass to the one level to one another from the goes from the producers down to wholesalers, wholesaler down to retailers, retailer down to the agent, agent down to the one consumer. That is why sometimes it takes time for arrival. Possibility of creating artificial scarcity. Now sometimes the goods are produced but for the wholesaler to make more profit, it will cease You have to what making the consumer to believe that the product is not available, while the product is what available. Okay, so these are the advantage of distribution. It's very important because it's enable goods available to the consumer. But if despite that, it also has its own lapses. One of the lapses is that it delays, it creates delay. Create delay whereby the pass through one stage to um another. Then we have what you call number four. It will say explain the following concept. It's a labor force. We have labor force, we have overpopulation, we have mobility of labor, we have optimum population. Now, let's understand what we call labor. Labor is human effort put into production, human effort put into production. As I'm standing now, I am a skilled labor. Why? But all what I'm saying is coming from my medulla oblongata, it's coming from my brain. I'm saying it, I'm not just myself, I'm just talking. All right. Why? I follow that because skill or labor. Okay. So we have what we call labor. Labor, human effort put into production. And we have classes of labor. Um, we have skilled labor, we have unskilled, and we have semi-skilled labor. Okay, now what we're looking at labor force. Labor force simply means total number of workers available in a given country. All right, total number of workers, people that have passed through 4 years of school, that have working age, that's called labor force. Total workers that is available in a given country or economy is called labor workforce. Total workers that are available or total people that are working that is available in a given country or economy. That's called labor force. Then we have got overpopulation. Overpopulation simply means if when resources cannot meet up population of a given country, it's called overpopulation. For example, now we have just like in Bible, God used few bread to feed thousands of people. All right. We are looking at the concept or the following concept of labor force. I would say labor force simply means total graduates. All right. People are capable to work of working age, pass through 4 years of school, that's available in a given country is called labor force. Then we have overpopulation. Simply means that when the number of people in a given country is above the resources available. It's called labor force. When resources available cannot meet the people in a given country. Alright, for example, now we have millions of people, then what is available is few. It's called overpopulation. When the resources cannot meet the total of people living in a particular area, it's called overpopulation. Then we have mobility of labor, simply means movement of workers from one place to another. For in search of better job, just go mobility of labor, move from working from one place to another. All right, let's go mobility of labor. When a worker move from River State to different place in search of still work, so mobility of labor. The word mobility means movement. Okay, then we have optimum population. All of it is when resources available can meet the total number of people living in another area. It's called optimum population. It's called optimum population. It's called optimum population. So you are looking at number 4B. Say outline 4 factors responsible for the rapid growth in the population of a country. Outline 4 factors responsible for the rapid growth population of a country. Number one is improve healthcare. When there is an improvement of healthcare, it will bring about what growth when there is healthcare. And one of the things that decrease the rate of death in Nigeria is because of the so we have poor medical centers and healthcare facilities. That is why. So if there is adequate medical facilities available, it will promote the growth of population of a given country. Another area is what birth rate. You understand? When there is no restriction of number of time one can give birth and everything, there's no restriction. You understand? It will also increase the rate of birth rate. Like if you look at the Bayelsas, the Yorubas, they give more. They have high, population growth increased by day. Why? Because of the rate of birth. Okay, another is just called cultural and religion belief. Cultural and religion belief. Which we could promote cultural and religion belief that normally culture believe that blessing children are blessing. Also, so if we promote religion belief and everything, it's also promote what we call population or census. All right. Then we also reduce in infant what mortality. All right. So these are the things that will really enhance what we call rapid growth in what we call population center. Number one, if we encourage what we call good medical center is there. All right. Number two, if we encourage what birth, giving birth. All right. So a girl of 18 is encouraged to give birth with out of wedlock. It also promotes or increase what we call rate of growth in population census. All right, that takes us to number 5A. Define the term industrialization. Industrialization simply means the a process of providing or creating more industry. You know what I'm saying? Moving from one industry to another. All right, it's called what? Industrialization. Okay, moving from one industry to another or trying to create, specify one. Yeah, most every area is called industrialization. From mineral resources moving to other sector of economy is called what? Industrialization. We have mineral resources, which is mineral resources, has to do with natural resources, things that man came to meet. All right, from the creation, father that man, and as I said, let there be light, and there was light, and God created this. Yeah, and so these are natural resources. Man came to meet it. And that's it. We have the land, we have the forest, we have the fish, we have the cow. All these are natural resources. So those things that man came to meet, they are called mineral. For example, we have crude oil, we have crude. Crude is natural resources. We have coal, we have cocoa. These are natural resources. We have palm kernel, palm frond. All these are natural resources. Man came to meet it. We call it mineral resources because Nigeria gets our revenue through major of these mineral resources. Then we are looking at number 4, number 5B, second to the last. We have, apart from promoting industrial identity, apart from promoting industrialization, identify the three benefits of exploiting mineral resources. Apart from promoting industrialization, you're going to identify. So, if apart from promoting industrialization, you can identify other benefits of exploiting mineral resources. Why do we exploit mineral resources? Number one, source of foreign or exchange through or export. Through mineral resources help us to carry out foreign exchange or foreign businesses. For example, now we have what we call crude oil in Nigeria. We could sell crude oil to other country, understand, to transact or business. Look at what those areas we are very good at, cost advantage, understand. Okay, that is how it is. So we have also got employment opportunity. It also provides or creates employment or opportunity. We have people that work in the mining companies, all right? We have people that work, millions of people that are working in the mining company. So the mineral resource also has created what employment opportunity. We have people that work in different oil companies, millions of people that work as a result of what you call um, export our mineral resources. Without mineral resources, the rate of unemployment will also rapidly increase. But because of crude oil, because of the crude oil that we have companies that are into mining that employ millions of people to work in that area. Then we have 5C, the last. Said apply any three benefit of industrialization to a developing country. Apply any five benefit of industrialization to a developing country. All right. Number one is that it helps us to diversify economy. It helps us to focus other area of economy, not just to focus one area, but other area of economy. Okay, number two is create job and reduce what unemployment. It helps us to create what job and reduce unemployment. See, all what you are saying is that see, Nigeria is suffering or money does not have value. It's so frustrating that $1 is equivalent to 1,700 naira. It's so frustrating because why? Our money does not have value. And why does our money does not have value? Because we keep on buying, keep on borrowing, keep on borrowing, keep on buying, keep on buying. All right. So if assuming Nigeria, we are into what's called diversification of industry, thereby creating other sector of industry and focusing on other sector of industry, so that Nigeria will be a better what place. So that it promotes what economic or technological development. In area of technology, we are still learning work. We are learning work. So if assuming all these things are available, the area of industrialization today, and you see Nigeria will be better, it's possible, possible. The what Nigeria have all everything it takes. Nigeria, we have cocoa, we have crude oil, which is petroleum, we have palm frond, we have fertilizer. All these are mineral resources. But to date, Nigeria have the poorest, one of the poorest currency so far. I pray that God will help us. God will help us. It's possible. All we have to do is for accountability. Accountability. I'm going to what's called diversification of economy. Then Nigeria will be a better place. Thank you very much. See you next. I see you. God bless you.